Hello, Internet world. Jason here, and we are here today on our weekly hangout. And I'm here with my man Josh, and we also have a special guest here as well, Roger, and he's going to be talking about some extra things. But today we're here to talk about what is your vision, because we just uh, came back from a week-long conference where our opportunity, where we had our mind blown. I can tell you we've learned so much, that we have so much value to offer you, but we want to start off and begin with what is our vision for the future, and how you tie into our vision, and how you can help, and how we can help you take the next step in your online journey to financial freedom. So I'm going to let each one introduce themselves and just say just a little bit of about their story and their history and where they are. But I'm gonna start. Jason here. I've been online for say about 8 months now. I was an offline business owner, and what had got me was that I did all right offline, but I didn't have residual income. And so what I started to look online at some options to say, okay, well, how can I earn residual income where eventually I could make a full-time income from home, where I don't have to work as hard offline, where I have a job, and after it's over it stops, and then the income stops as well. So when I looked online, I actually came across this great opportunity that we're actually talking about, the Empower Network. And so each of us is going to talk about, who we are, what our vision is. And so I just began with a little history on myself, and then I'm actually pass it off to Josh so he could talk about his story. And then afterwards, we're going to talk about our vision for the future, how you tie into our vision, and how we're going to help you reach your financial goals in the next 90 days. So I'm going to pass it off to Josh.
Hello, guys. I am so excited about what we're talking about today. It's gonna be awesome, and I know a lot of you are here because I've been spreading around that I've got a big announcement for you, for everybody. All right. But before I reveal what this announcement is, I want to talk to you a little bit about where I'm at and how I got here. Okay. So, oh, it looks like David's on. Who's that?
Hey,
Hey.
how's it going?
Hey, David. This is my nephew, everyone. That's David
Oh,
Hyde. He's
okay,
excellent with
great.
graphics. Josh
All
has
right.
got the microphone right now, so if you just mute and let him finish up.
Alright, I'll turn this off here.
All right. Well, I just want to tell you guys uh, uh, how I got to where I'm at today. All right, and let's start kind of with my story. All right, I grew up in St. Mary's, Kansas. I eventually went to college in Manhattan, Kansas, and I've lived there ever since. I graduated from college. I got married to my wife. I met her at college, and I had a job at a really successful corporation, and I decided that I would quit my job because I didn't see it taking me anywhere that I wanted to go. I saw myself working my butt off every day, even weekends. I mean, I did not have a holiday. All right, I would work, from early in the morning to late at night, and no matter how hard I worked, my income was not going up. First reason, I was in a job that was salary, and the second reason is there's only so far that you can go up when you're working for somebody else. Okay, and so I was in a job that I knew was not where I wanted to be. So I decided to quit my job, and what did I do? I went to go get my master's. Okay, and at this time I talked to my wife, and we decided that I would quit it. I'd focus on my education and get my master's degree in social work, and then I would be able to make more money, right? Okay. Well, about 2 weeks after I had started my master's, we found out that we were pregnant, and we had been trying to have children ever since we got married. Ever since we got married, and that was 4 years, and we finally got pregnant when I had quit my job, so I'm jobless with no money, and I'm like sucking our resources by going to school. All right, and getting a master's degree is not cheap, you know, and there's not a lot of help out there to get your master's. When when I got my undergraduate, I had tons of help. You know, I am in the Air Force, and I got the GI Bill and the GI Kicker and all kinds of tuition assistance and all kinds of stuff to help me. But when I go back to get my master's, I didn't have any of that. So we were paying everything out of pocket, and I had to get loans. And after we decided that I would quit my job and go back to school, we found out we were pregnant. 9 weeks after that, we found out that we were pregnant with twin boys. So that was like double the pressure. Oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I've got a real family now that I'm going to have to figure out how to take care of, and I can't do that going to school. So things started happening, and it didn't work out for me to finish my school anyway. So I got halfway done with my master's. I've got debt, and I don't have a job. All right, and we decided that my wife would keep her job since she worked for the state and had really good benefits, and I would go and stay home and take care of the kids, so we didn't have to, you know, get a babysitter. And that really hurt my pride, you know. I wanted to be a provider for my family. I wanted to be the one, you know, the husband that went to work, and I wanted my wife to be able to stay home. And I know that's kind of a traditional outlook, but that's what I've always wanted. That's, you know, I've dreamt about that when I was a kid. That's the way I always thought it was going to be, and it wasn't turning out that way. I was draining our resources. I didn't have a job, and it hurt my pride. And so I made a decision, you know. I made a decision that I was going to find something that I could do. Okay? And so the boys they were born, and thank God my wife was working, and thank God we did have insurance, because they ended up being premature, and they had to stay in the NICU for about a month and a half. And I remember getting up like 4 o'clock in the morning, because at that time my boys, they were in the NICU in a different city about an hour away, and we were staying there in the Ronald McDonald House because we couldn't afford a hotel to stay. All right, and I remember getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I would go and visit those twin boys. I would see them in their incubator, and I would ask the nurse, you know, just for that little piece of information, like, you know, what's new today? What happened? Was there anything change? You know, it was so exciting. I was a dad, and I had these beautiful twin boys that were just struggling to breathe in their incubators. And I had to provide for them. So I made a decision to find something, and I stumbled upon Empower Network, and it was the best decision that I had ever made. The best decision I'd ever made. Because I've heard all these stories out there of online businesses that you had to be aware of because, you know, they're scams, or, you know, they'll take your money and run, and all that kind of stuff. But this is different. This actually makes money. So I've been doing this since September. All right, so September, I started less than a year ago, okay? And now I'm making more than my wife does, and she's got a master's degree in chemical engineering. We're making plans for her to be able to quit her job, and we can both stay home with the boys and go travel anywhere we want. And the big announcement that you all are waiting for is what I'm going to reveal by reciting my major definite purpose, which I encourage you all to do for yourself also, because this will help you. So here I go. By August 26th, that's 90 days from today, 2014, I will have in my possession $100,000, which will come to me in various amounts from time to time during the interim. In exchange for this money, I will give the most efficient service of which I am capable, and rendering in the fullest possible quality and quantity of service in the capacity of leadership. I believe that I will have this money in my possession. My faith is so strong that I can now see this money before my eyes. I can touch it with my hands. It is now awaiting transfer to me at the time and in the proportion that I deliver the service I intend to render for it. I am awaiting a plan by which to accumulate this money, and I will follow that plan when it is received. So with that, I want to introduce to you our special guest today and his special guest. But first, let me introduce Roger Hyatt. Roger has been in this realm of internet entrepreneurship for about 10 years, for over 10 years now, and his expertise is just right up there. He is a well-known solo ad provider. He is a web designer, and he's just got a vast variety of experience. And we were so lucky to have Roger here, and I'm just going to turn it over to Roger right now.
Thanks, Josh. Hey, man, sorry I had to kill the video cam there. That story that you were telling was a lot like mine. I had my kid. She was born at 1 pound, 12 ounces. I'm staring up at the sky, holding a tall ice house in my hands, just praying, you know, give me an answer, you know. So anyway, we'll get on to something a little more cheerful than that, but I know where you come from. And but yeah, this is a trip because I've been at this for about a decade now. And prior to that, I was, you know, messing with the little teeny computers. What were they? little teeny Timex Sinclair 1000s with an 8K RAM pack where you had to program it with 2 pencil erasers. And nonetheless, I got a lot of background on computers. So it came easier for me in that sense that I had some savviness, you know, on a computer and online and what basically everything did. Whereas other people come in thinking, oh shit, man, I got to learn all this stuff, you know. But in today's stuff, it's all systems, and you don't really got to learn much anymore, and that's the beauty of it. But one thing I wanted to let anybody know who's watching this live or recorded later is that after my 10 years of all this big success, and I got some really nice cars and do what I want, and I work when I want. If you want to call it work, I call it play. But my monthly amount, I'm not going to flip any numbers at you, but this guy Josh, after 7 months, trumps that like times 10. And so I'm like, wait a minute, what am I doing wrong here? So, and I know a lot of the stuff that he did, because I've tried this Empower Network thing 2 times before, failed miserably, went with the wrong attitude and everything. But what this guy, Jason and Josh have for you, I'm not, you know, I can't say, but I'm just saying, get in, because ain't nobody else got this stuff. That, you know, if you're in the circle, then you're going to have an edge that nobody else has got. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's why I'm here, is listening in for what I can get. So you guys should be doing the same thing. Anyway, hey, Jason, back to you.
Okay. And so I was just going to add into what my vision is, and I had talked just a small bit about my story. I had went about, you know, just like everybody else, growing up, did well in school, went to great schools, and got a good job, and did the 9 to 5. Didn't really like it, because I knew it was something beyond that that I really wanted to do. Because heading to a 9 to 5 every day, having to tell my boss everything I had to do, if I wanted to take a vacation, or if I wanted to do anything out of the ordinary, I had to have it approved. So that's when I went into my own business. And I can tell you, when you're an entrepreneur and you're offline, brick and mortar, you're going to work harder than you are in the 9 to 5. And so I had got into that and did well, but then at the same time, that's when I had realized that when I had my daughter, is that there's more out there, and I want to be able to, to provide a legacy for her. And so that's when I started looking online, and then that's when I came across the Empower Network. And I can actually say within the last 8 months, I've made actually more in these 8 months than I have in my 9 to 5 job. And I have to say, income disclaimer. We have been talking about income here, but you have to head to the empowernetwork.com/income.php for the average earnings, because I'm going to tell you, there have been, you know, I've had people on my team that have made money, but the majority of them haven't. One of the main reasons why is because they quit, is because they don't actually go through with what they actually have planned, and they aren't hard working enough, because they have the employee mindset and not the entrepreneur's mindset. And to really succeed online, you have to have an entrepreneur's mindset. So it is about mindset, and that's what we're here to talk about today, is what is your vision? Because to succeed online, you have to have a vision beyond the money. And we just heard Josh talk about what his vision is for the next 90 days, $100,000. And we were actually at a conference where we heard a 22-year-old from overseas, 22 years old, and he made $94,000 in 90 days. And mind you, where he lives, they were not able to accept credit cards, so he had to have the people he got into the business had to send him the money so he can actually get them in, or he had to direct each of them to the bank so they can actually get in. So that's all to say that he had obstacles beyond what the majority of us don't have, because most people in the U.S. have credit cards, or they have bank cards, or some way to actually buy online where he didn't have that. And he's 22 years old. At the time, he was only 21. But he was able to get people online. And he didn't have all the access that we had. And within 90 days, made $94,000. So we're here to say that it's possible. But you have to be realistic. You have to be a go-getter. And so I'm here to talk about what my vision is. And mine is a tagline that I came up with, 90K in 90 days. So I'm going to make 90K in 90 days, and it's going to be with or without you. Hopefully it's with you. And I'm here to say that I want to help from here on out. I want to help 10 people every year to become financially free. And I hope you're one of those 10 people. And I have one of my people that I'm actually sponsoring is actually watching this call. Her name is Tasia, and she has some people online, and that one of them is, she's actually thinking about it, and she's in real estate. And I'm gonna tell you, we have talked to a lot of real estate agents this past weekend that are in the Empower Network that are making a killing because they have access to capital that the average human being does not have. So if you're thinking about it, you need to join us. And believe me, I know Tasia, and she's a go-getter. And you need to think about joining her team. But again, this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. If you're just looking to join in and you're not going to do anything at all, this is not for you. This is not your rodeo. This is not the rodeo for you. You're going to have to put in some work, but I guarantee that if you put in the work and you stick with it, you are going to get results. But again, head to the empowernetwork.com/income.php for the average earning for all of the income earners in this company.
And Jason, what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually do a screen share of the income disclosure.
Okay.
So
and
when you're finished, let me know.
Yeah, I'm going to just end with this before I pass it back off to Josh, is that if you're serious about earning an income within the next 90 days, you need to get back with the person that got you on this call, or you need to click the link below this video. Because we here on this hangout, we're serious and we have a vision that includes you if you want to be a part of it. Because we're going to be running within the next 90 days to make some money, and we want to help you do the same. But if you're not serious, do not waste your money. But if you're serious about having financial freedom, get back with the person that brought you on this call. So I'm going to hand it back off to Josh, because I know he had said he was going to share his screen and he was going to talk about some other things. So I'm going to hand it off to you, Josh.
All right, okay. And before I go into the income disclosure and share that with you guys, I want to shout out to two of my team members. I had challenged them to bring some people to this webinar, all right? And each one of them at the very beginning, they lowballed me. They told me that I can bring myself, or I can bring one other person, but I challenged them to bring more people on this webinar than they were comfortable doing so. And I did that because as a leader, I feel it a responsibility to stretch my team members. All right. So Danielle Yordi and Aaron Martinez, you both are awesome. All right. And if you are here because of them, I want you to get under them right now. I want you to buy right now. I want you to get a hold of them right now. Get their affiliate link and get on board, because we're going to be talking about in this webinar some things that are going on in an Empower Network and in the Prosperity Team with iPass 2 that it's going to blow your socks off. So get that done right now as we speak, okay? It's not that hard. Get that affiliate link from those guys. Get signed up, and I will go over the income disclosure right now. All right, let me know when you can see my screen. Is it up yet?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. All right. So the income disclosure. This is my domain for it, but it's actually www.empowernetwork.com//income. Okay, but I just got this under my domain name because this is also, you can also do your affiliate link with this. So as you can see here, only 1% of the active affiliates, okay, active people, that's the people that are active within Empower Network, are making over $25,000 a month, okay? So those results are not typical. Neither are my results. I'm in the 2% right now, all right? By the end of this 90 days, I will be in the 1%. But I tell you what, my friends, this is what I tell my team members, okay, when they join me and I go through this. I tell them that if you are going to be in the 61%, I don't want you on my team, because you have a choice. You can be the 61% or you can be the 1%. And I'm telling you right now, with the changes that Empower Network is doing and with what iPass 2 is doing, those combined, there's going to be a lot of changes to this. All right. So I challenge you right now, and I want to let you know, if you are on this webinar and you are going to be one of the people in the 61 percentile or even the 21 percentile, I wouldn't do it. I would just leave. But if you choose to work really hard, I know you can do it because I've done it. All right?
Hey, Josh.
You can be in the upper percentiles, and we can get this a lot higher. All right? And Roger, you had a question?
Yeah, I was going to say something that I find unique about this time that I'm doing it now, the third time, is that the last two times I went in under somebody, and I'm like, hey, give me these tools, give me this information. How are you doing that? What's your success method here? And they'd feed me these standard scraps, like rah rah, hiss boom bah, and then drop me on my ass. And what I'm experiencing with you is, like I got some knowledge on some stuff that you're barely introduced to yet, but it's not, and it's relevant because it's a whole package. So it's nice that we're able to exchange information and stuff. Like if anybody on your team or Jason's or mine, or is having a problem, let's say you pick up one of these lists from another system, another front-end system like Big Idea Mastermind or whatever have you, and you look at the list of solo ad providers thinking, okay, well, I've covered all my bases, dotted all my I's, crossed all my T's, and now I've got this, $800, $1,000 to invest in this better work or I'm screwed. And then you go running off that list and you're thinking, okay, that one's the cheapest and he's got a lot of good reviews, I'm going to buy off of him. Well, you could ask Josh yourself if you want, but I run down through both of his listing, and he showed me. I'm like, nope, jerk, nope, ripoff, nope, scam artist, or yeah, he used to be good, but after he became well known for being good, he's now outsourcing his shit to another. So we're going to protect you, and that's something ain't nobody going to offer you, is that level of protection of when you spend money on a solo. I'm not going to make a 100% guarantee, but I tell you what, you're going to be better off with this team than anybody else, and that's kind of what Josh is looking. He's doing. He's looking out for you, and I'm going to stick with him. I mean, we're good friends, and we're How often do we talk, Josh? We're always throwing ideas across and knocking some out of the wind, like, no, we tried that didn't work. And because if you leave everything up to the leader, you're just a sheep following everybody. You got a brain, use it. Bring some ideas to the table. Bring them to my table. I'll help you with them. Anyway,
Right. Right.
But if you want to consider to serve me caviar or park my car, we need people like you still. I'm not going to deter you from your normal job, but I'm telling you, I like my job a lot better. So stick with it, man. Push on. That mindset, it's not BS. You can't come in thinking, okay, well, I've paid this much money, I want to see some damn results. No, get to work. Use your brain. Anyway, thanks.
Roger.
Yeah, Jason.
While you're at it, did you want to talk about the capture page that you had?
Well, it's something that I've seen a lot of systems fail at. Now, every MLM-related thing seems to start at the top and be good and start building this big pyramidic type bunch of followers that are actually up there holding these big fat 80-foot long checks saying, look what I did. And everybody's like, oh, I want to do that. And so they copy them. They copy them to such an extent that it's something, well, I call it ICR, Identical Content Replication. You can get yourself thrown in the spam box for sending off copy and pasted emails. That's what I mean by use your brain. This is, if you're going to throw out just copy and paste doing your stuff like that, then, you may as well. I mean, be a sheep if you want. But the right way to do it is to use your brain and recreate from your own head. If you got to go look at a squeeze page to come up with an email or a way to explain this to somebody, then that's what you need to do. If you can't think right now, if it's like, oh, I'm just having a rough spell, go take a jog or a walk or go watch some TV. It'll come to you. Find something inspiring. Watch a drama show, Steel Magnolias or something. But find some inspiration and recreate what has been given to you, because if you ever paste out something that somebody gave to you, you're running the risk of being thrown in the spam box. And it goes the same way for web pages, except I'm not referring to the spam box now. I'm referring to the same old subscribers seeing the same old garbage. And with that, I wanted to show you something that if you have your own squeeze page, then the solo ad provider is not going to say, oh, sorry, we don't do Empower Network, or no, I've already promoted that 30 times this week. And this way you can customize it, and it'll be new to all of these people, and you'll get better results. So I'm going to do a little screen share here and see if you guys can see. Let me see. Here we go. And is the screen showing up?
Yeah, it just came up.
Cool. This is just something, it didn't take me too long to whoop up, but I wanted to make it fit all the devices and stuff, and it does. It fits. I got 3 different Samsungs. I got iPods, iMacs, iPhone, just about every device under the sun here at my house. And so I use those so that I can run these tests on here. And it loads instantly and looks great on any device. You can just put in whatever you want right here. Put whatever you want here. This is a standard get response form. I got a video that shows how to make it look as good as that, but and then after you press the Get It Now button, it takes you to a page that for about 10 seconds, it's communicating to the subscriber, saying, hey, did you know that about 60% of the people fail because they don't check their inbox? Make sure you check yours and get the email coming to you. And then it says, meanwhile, redirecting you to a special offer from my good friend. And then you can send them wherever you want, whether it's to like the commission loophole or the Genesis formula or the iPass 2, wherever you feel like sending them. It's under your control and not under some other control of like leadpages.net's got its standard way, and you don't have to have them go to this get response or Aweber standard, confirmation page, and you get a few emails going with this. And what I recommend is you got a good email that represents who you are, gives them their download, and welcomes them to contact you should they ever have any problem regarding anything online, and that you'll be there and you'll try and help as soon as possible. So that's the method to the madness, is you don't copy and paste hardly anything. That's kind of, in my opinion, I don't know if anybody here agrees with me, but the only reason to copy somebody is to get their idea. You then recreate that using your words. That's the true copy. That's how people copy in success. The people that copy and fail are the ones that do not think, and they run it right back out there exactly as they saw it.
Exactly.
And back to you, Jason.
That was awesome, Roger. And that just, we have put that in there just to help you all just understand that what is all of the value you're going to get by joining our teams, because we're just not here about the money. We're here to help you, because everybody on this hangout is not about us, it's about you. Because what I love about the Empower Network, the only way you're going to make money is if you help other people make money. And so everybody here is all about helping you. And so we have went, a little long tonight, because this is usually a half-hour call. And so I'm going to actually wrap it up, and I'm going to ask, everybody here to say some closing thoughts. But just join us here every week, because we're going to be offering you value and explain why this is the deal that you want to be in, that's going to help to change your financial future. So I'm going to hand it off to Josh so he can have some closing thoughts.
One second here. Hey, you guys that are listening, I just want to let you know that I don't have to be your sponsor for me to help you. You get a hold of me somehow. Facebook, email, contact Josh or Jason, they know how. If you need my help, you got it. Back to you.
Okay, and what I wanted to ask you real quick, Roger, is we kind of discussed this before the hangout, but you usually charge quite a bit to do this web design kind of stuff, but you had mentioned that you might do a special offer on this web.
I remember the conversation. I was kind of hoping you didn't flood the place with, you jam pack it with 300 people, and they're like, oh my God, only $97, I'll take that. But yeah, I make a personalized page, for you, the kind you just saw, discuss all the different color variations, what you want it to say, and then that other page I told you after they press on the submit button, where it takes them, it's got this little timer and tells them to check their inbox and stuff like that. But I write 3, and this isn't something I got in Notepad where I'm just going to copy and paste, zip it up to you, take your money and run. This is something that I write for you. I get your image, I put it in your email, and these are custom made. And I normally charge, I'm just going to say, it's more than 3 times that, I'll tell you that. But for Josh and Jason's friends, or anybody attending this right now, get a hold of Josh, and, $97, I can give this to you. And that's the way you can get subscribers for anything, really. But
and what about for those people who don't have web hosting?
Oh, I can host that for you for I don't know, say three months for free. If you ain't made enough money to give me $10 a month hosting after that, then, well, the rest is history. But I think you will.
All right. And so let's wrap this up. But I want to encourage you guys to go to the next event. All right, even if you are not in Empower Network right now, I want you to go to the next event, and it's in Charlotte. I forget the dates. Does anybody have the dates right offhand? Let me get those real quick.
Not me. You want me to babble some while you're looking? Blah, blah, blah.
Babble some.
Not having this June, 26th, through the 29th.
June 26th through the 29th. Okay, guys, I want you to attend those events, because you can't get the information that you get at an event anywhere else. Okay, we can try to tell you all these things, but none of us, and except for maybe Roger, we're not experts at this. We really don't know what's going on, really, but we're still making money. And you know why? Because Empower Network has developed this system so that you and me, who are not experts, can really make a lot of money doing this, just like the gurus, because we have third-party trainings. So whenever you get a question, even if you have a question that you know, refer those people to the trainings that we have. Refer them to the products that we have, because they're valuable. Those are real products with really good education and motivational products that will work for any business out there, whether it's online or offline.
Hey, Josh.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to discuss the iPass 2?
Yeah, the iPass.
I wanted to let everybody know. Hold on a second. Those times that I failed, I went in and I did everything that Empower Network told me to do, to a T. More so that I can prove to myself that it did not work. So I came in with a bad attitude, granted, but I did do all the work just like anybody else coming in is told to do, and I failed. And the thing that caught my eye on this one was that this new system coming out, iPass 2, the way that it was laid out on the whiteboard just blew me away, because, you know, here's an example. Okay, so you got 100 people that are receiving an email, and they're reading it. They're reading an email from you, 100 of them, let's just say, and let's say 30 of them click your link, and it takes them to this video, and you look, and everybody, we all know how it goes. You go to the video page, and you're like, holy crap, 52 minutes, screw that, I'm out of here, right? But just think if you click the link and you had this $4.97 deal saying, hey, I'm going to give you access for this, and if you don't like it, I'm going to refund you. And then after they order it, what are the chances that they're then going to watch it? So it's the watching the video all the way through is now they got an investment in it, so of course they're gonna want to watch all through it. I paid for this. It's like trying to throw away a half-eaten hamburger that you just bought. That don't make sense. I'm gonna scarf that sucker down. So, but the iPass 2 system has such an intricate web of where the person comes in at and what they do to them afterwards based on the action that they took or it did not take. And when I saw the detailed layout of that, I was like, holy crap, I know how to do that myself. I do know how, and I have the resources to do it. But the way these guys laid it out, I'd rather go all in just to get this done for me the way it's done, because they got these live calls. They're calling your customers on your behalf. And I overheard one of these calls, and I was like, whoa, I need that guy on my team, because he was going to get that person all in right there on the phone call. I could just feel it. So it's not just Empower Network and a few guys with some success stories and maybe a couple of guys with some awesome resources and whatnot. This iPass 2 system, you get into that, and you will have some Empower Network money just, hand over fist. I know I'm already receiving some. I'm not going to discuss my earnings, but it's some good shit. Sorry about the language.
Yeah, iPass 2 is basically, it's just a system specifically to sell your Empower Network products. So it's specifically there to help you get those sales and get those upsells, which is really going to bring your business to the next level. That's what's going to pay your bills every month. Is those upsells? For
those of you wondering, sorry about this, Josh. For those of you that might be wondering, what the heck is iPass 2? Of course, I've heard about Empower Network. iPass 2 is another front end for Empower Network. Empower Network is saturated and diluted. It's the largest money-making resource online available today. And like I said, ICR, identical content replication. You can only do it so much before it no longer works. And so people create these front end systems, and I've seen them all, and they get liquid, saturated and diluted as well. This iPass 2, it cannot, because of this intricate funnel behind it. It does not get diluted. It cannot. Back to you, Josh.
That and the people who make the real money in Empower Network are the people who go through the products and do exactly what the products tell you to do. All right, because you get in. Empower Network gives you their own capture page and all that kind of stuff that everybody uses. All right, and they do that for you at first because you don't know what to do, but you go through those products and you figure it out and you learn. But with iPass 2, you don't really have to learn all that because it's there. But you want to buy the products because you're going to want to have access to every product in Empower Network because everything has so much value. You need to know what's in there so you can tell the people that you bring in what's in there. And once you get that knowledge, that's powerful. That's powerful. You can take that anywhere. All right? So I think we're going to go ahead and end. Come back next week because we have got something really special for you next week. All right? This is going to blow your minds. If you miss it next week, you're going to be sorry. So come back next week. We'll be here. Look for the emails. I'm going to let Jason end this webinar, and we'll see you guys next week.
Josh, that was great. And I just want to touch on that. Like I had at the beginning, I had talked about, we just came back from a Weekend Pack conference, and they announced some amazing opportunities that will help all of our businesses and all of the newbies that don't know anything that are actually thinking about joining. Now is the right time to join because there are some amazing things that are being unleashed within the next week that we're going to talk about next week. So I hope you actually enjoyed what we had to say today so you know what our vision is. I hope you have one, and I hope we are a part of your vision. So as I said, get back to the person that asked you to join this webinar, and again, we hope to see you all next week. Have a great week.